Hello, it is I. Solo vlog from me. So I went to Disneyland and Universal Hollywood with my roommate BagHead, Mad, whatever you know him as, and we met up with one of our high school friends, Jacob, who we haven't seen in many, many years. So we just kind of spent the weekend chilling out in LA, kind of Anaheim area, went to Disneyland, went to Universal for Halloween Horror Nights. My first time going to both of those parks, so it was very cool to kind of see the difference between the West Coast versions of Universal and Disney and the East Coast version. Interesting seeing the differences between both of those parks. Unfortunately, Matt is a colossal forehead and waited too long to buy his Disney ticket, so he didn't end up going with us because he just couldn't buy them. But he did go with us to Universal. So yeah, here's just some footage that I took from the weekend, kind of give you a gist of what we did. I'll pop in here and there, voiceover just to kind of explain what's going on, but yeah, enjoy the vlog. So we flew into LAX and then tried to make our way to Anaheim to check into our Airbnb. So we got into LA around, I want to say 1 p.m.-ish, and we weren't due to check into our Airbnb until around 4. So trying to get from the airport to Anaheim was going to be a little daunting because there's not really good public transit in LA. There's no metro station directly connecting to the airport, so we hopped on a shuttle to take us to the nearest metro station, and then from there rode it all the way to the final stop, and then took an Uber to Anaheim after we picked up lunch, which by the time we got there, it was about 4 p.m. So after that, we rode over to Burbank to go to round 1, and here's some footage from that. What the hell am I doing? You already know. You already know. You already know I had to go to round 1. That's Jacob. We've been friends since high school. Haven't seen this motherfucker in years. I'm showing him the weeb games. Hell yeah. Drum. Wow. Next up, Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Hollywood. I gotta say, I don't know how I feel about this ride. It's alright. Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Hollywood. Didn't get a lot of footage while we were there, unfortunately. I did get some, but not a lot. So this bit is going to be a little short. Didn't really get to go through a lot of houses here. Got to do maybe the one thing that I was most excited for, which was the Terror Tram, which is exclusive to Universal Hollywood. Orlando doesn't have that. So basically, it's the backlot tour. So you hop on the tram, and they give a little bit of a backstory spiel. There's some lore to it, something about a killer clown that used to be a former employee or something. And he's throwing a party where he's murdering people. And so you ride the tram, they drop you off in the back lot, and you get to walk by the Bates Motel and some iconic sets. You get to see the back lot as you're walking through it. And then probably the standout feature of the back lot this year was walking through the actual set from Jordan Peele's Nope. So they had the Tethered from Us kind of walking around while you got to walk through Jupiter's Claim, and that was actually really cool. The other house we did was Universal Monsters, so it's kind of all the classic Universal monsters kind of mashed together into one house. So Dracula, the Mummy, Wolfman, all that stuff. Didn't get to go through any other houses, unfortunately, because the lines were about 2.5 hours long, most of them. But we got to do a couple, at the very least. I got to do Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, which is the ride that you do in Hogwarts Castle. That's the same as it is in Orlando, which I expected, but it's still a good ride. So here's some of the footage I got from Universal. We fucking out here at Universal, hell yeah. Scary monster ass. Hell yeah, Disneyland. Wow. Disneyland. So like I said at the beginning, Mad waited too long to get his tickets and ended up not being able to go with us. Instead, he paid $200 to ride 2 hours in an Uber to go to San Diego to hang out with people at TwitchCon instead. So while he did that, me and Jacob hung out at Disneyland for the day. Very cool getting to check out this park for the first time after going to Disney World so many times and growing up going there. So it was nice to finally see Disneyland. And I gotta say, I think there are some aspects of this park that I like a little more. It's very cool finally getting to see Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and riding Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run and Rise of the Resistance, which, by the way, I think might be the best ride that Disney's ever made. If you ever see footage of this ride, video does not do this ride justice. It is so cool in person. Like, I can't even tell you. It's really cool. I got to do Savvy's Workshop. I got to build my own lightsaber, which is very cool. Got to do Haunted Mansion Holiday, which is the Halloween/Christmas reskin of Haunted Mansion, where they skin it for Nightmare Before Christmas. That's up from Halloween until Christmas, so I'm going back in December actually, so I'll get to do it again. What else did we do? Space Mountain. Cool seeing this version of Space Mountain. It's a little different from Orlando's. Yeah, just kind of spent the day in the park. We're out here getting lunch, Galaxy's Edge. I got a wrap. They got these cool little like in-universe bottles for everything. Yeah. Bro. Alrighty, so that was Disneyland. Up next, I have some footage from building my lightsaber at Savvy's Workshop. Here is actually the completed lightsaber. I chose purple, but I think I have a blue crystal in here right now because I already had that one. Yeah, it's blue. Cool thing about these, compared to maybe older Hasbro Force Effects lightsabers and maybe some other older high-end lightsabers, is that the blade on this one is removable, which is very cool. And so if you try to turn it on without a blade, it does that. So I'm going to just kind of change the color. I have a purple one here. But yeah, all of this is completely removable. Just take that off. Take that off. Unscrew the bottom. And this is what you start out with, minus the Kyber crystal, of course. So pop that out, right? Open this up. Now this is a little tricky to do, so hopefully I can do this first time. I know I definitely struggled when I tried to initially build this thing. So you pop the purple crystal in there. It hums at you, right? So we put the switch on. Fun fact, I discovered that these operate with magnets, which is interesting. So if you just hold a magnet up to this, it'll turn on. Put the switches back on, right? We put that one on top. Screw that on. I think it goes this way, right? Yeah. Screw on the bottom there. Pop the blade back in. Makes a little noise. Now it's purple. Very cool. So yeah, here's my footage from Savvy's Workshop.
Finally, Section 5, your matching sets of activation plates. Now I will be here to help guide you along through your journey, and my fellow gatherers are also here for any assistance should you require any. So now, builders, only one question remains. Are we ready to build a lightsaber? Yeah! Alright, let's build. Then flip it upside down, so now that closed end is on top. This is our power cell. Moving on to section 4, grab an end cap and place it over that closed exit power cell. Sith have been doing for eons in the past. But don't worry, this technology is extremely safe. We do test runs every single morning. Except for this morning. We didn't quite get around to doing that. We went to the cantina instead.
Understandable.
It's okay. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and press the big red button right over here to get this started. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to press the red button. I don't think I was supposed to press the red button.
Well done. Chosen according to the skill you have. Chosen with heart. When joined, they are much more they will become.
On your hilt and activate your sabers. So now, builders, that time has come. Are we ready? Yeah! Everyone, please take that step forward. Place a hand on your hilt and together, activate. Now raise your sabers. You have just built a lightsaber. Like the Jedi, the Sith have come before you. And like them, you too can change the galaxy. Remember, all it takes is a spark. So raise your sabers high and raise them proud, builders.
Day 3, the final day, California Adventure, the second park at Disneyland. Didn't end up spending the whole day here. There wasn't a whole lot to really do at this park that interested me. I think we left maybe around 6 p.m.-ish. If I had to compare this park to anything, it really reminds me of Hollywood Studios at Disney World. There's a couple of fun things to do, but you can't really spend the whole day there, and you leave, and you kind of feel like there's some wasted potential, unfortunately. Not to say that the park wasn't good, it's just one of those parks that you can't really spend the whole day in. There's not really a lot of really interesting things to do. We did Incredicoaster a couple times, which was really fun. We did Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, but for Halloween, they have it skinned to something called Monsters After Dark. So the whole story of Mission Breakout is that the Guardians have been captured by this collector, and they're being stored in his collection, and so Rocket enlists the guest's help to break them out by causing a distraction by breaking the elevator, essentially. So the storyline of Mission Breakout is that there's still chaos from the Guardians being broken out, but now all of the monsters within the collection have escaped. And Groot is still running around the facility, so Rocket needs your help once again to cause a distraction to save his friends. It was really cool. I liked it a lot. Not sure if I like it more than Tower of Terror. It's kind of its own unique thing. As much as I love Tower of Terror, I was a little weary that they switched this over from Tower of Terror, but it's cool as its own thing. You know, no complaints. We also did Avengers Campus, which is the newest land in California Adventure. So we got to do the Spider-Man ride where you get to sling webs and stuff and you get really tired because you're doing this with your arms over and over. That ride has DLC, by the way. I'm not kidding. You can go into the gift shop and buy these like gauntlet things so that you can shoot Iron Man lasers instead if you want. What else did we do over there? We did, I think that was honestly all we did. There wasn't a whole lot to do in this park. We just kind of walked around. It was kind of cool seeing everything. Yeah. Footage. Those pumpkins are pogging. And that was the trip. That last bit of footage there, after we left California Adventure, we found this food hall in Anaheim down in the packing district. So we got dinner there, got some ramen, some boba, some beers, had a good time. Very cool place. But yeah, that's basically everything we did. That's the gist of it. Hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. Yeah. Catch you guys next time. See ya.